Okay, can you all hear me? Yes, yes, yes. Good evening. Happy Friday. Welcome again to Chat with Ade on Adiba Connected TV. And let's not forget that as you're joining us, let us know where you're watching us from and click the share button so that we can get more people onto the platform. Thank you. So for the meantime, I'm definitely going to be playing a little bit of music in order to invite some of my friends also onto the platform. Is that okay? Of course, it's fine. And today we are going to be listening to Days of Elijah, Joyous Celebration, the album. And you can definitely find this on YouTube. Listen, let me know if you cannot hear me. Let me know. Let me know if you cannot hear me well. 1 second. These welcome, Yum Yum. How are you? Don't forget to click the share button. Let's get more people in here. Let us know where you're watching from. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Don't be shy. Let me know you're here. Say hello. Hello, Miss Catherine. How are you? Happy Friday. How's your week going? Or how was your week? How's your weekend going? Hello, Kasim. How you doing? Happy Friday. That's great. That's great. Woo. Let's not forget to click the share button, guys. Doesn't cost a dime. Woo. Can't hear the music? No way. Oh no. Oh no, no. Okay, so it's called Days of Elijah. Right. So that was Days of Elijah. You guys need to go cop that on Spotify. Hey Key Tech, how you doing? Spotify or YouTube. Days of Elijah. Beautiful, beautiful song. Happy Friday. How's everybody? Where you guys watching from? Hey Kelly, how you doing, darling? How's your weekend starting as it started? Or you guys are still at work? Business is still going? How is everything going with you guys on your end? You guys were in May 2021. We're direct from Ondo. Oh my goodness, you left Lagos to Ondo. May 2021, and we're still on lockdown. Who is tired? Who is tired? So lockdown has been extended to June the 2nd, and we know it's going to be extended after that. At work, oh, that's great. I'm sure you're loving what you're doing. So, but we, the rest of us, are tired of lockdown. We're so tired. We're done with it. We're done. Oh, Kelly, are you at work also? I believe Prince Wally is on vacation or business vacation. Okay, guys. So we're not gonna take too much of our time because we do have a lovely, beautiful guest that is going to be joining us this lovely evening, Mrs. Nnena Uboma. And we're going to be talking about analytics. And I believe that it's such a great topic to discuss on this platform. You guys, please click that share button. Let's try and get more people into the forum to be entertained and to be educated. So one of our sponsors, of course, we do have to speak about our sponsors because they make this possible, and it is Afroway Cargo Logistics Inc. And if you want to pretty much send any packages to Nigeria, or you have any packages that is coming from Nigeria to Canada, they are definitely the plug for you. They are located in Toronto on North York, 130 Milburn Drive. And you can definitely give them a call at 416-740-2555. And they are on Instagram, Facebook. They have their website, afrowaycargoinc.com, afrowaycargo.com. And believe me, you guys, it takes about 5 to 7 maximum business days. It is like this. Doesn't matter what you're sending, just give them a call to confirm if you're able to send it or not. But most things they're able to send, except if it's not legal, of course. So yes, let's thank Afroway Cargo Logistics Inc. for supporting our brand, our ministry. God bless them. And then, of course, hey, if you want to send money to me and you're back home in Nigeria, and I can definitely receive those funds with Quick Collect. So Quick Collect, if you want to send money back home or you want to send money from back home to Canada, you can definitely use Quick Collect. They have an app where you can actually download and send money anytime, anywhere. You don't have to call anybody. You don't have to speak to anyone. You can do it all by yourself. But in case you need to give them a call, You can call them at 416-817-8648. We should download the app. And of course, this is one of our babies, Correct Commerce. If you have not downloaded the app on both Android and iOS, meaning iPhone, do that on the Google Play and also the Apple. You can download our app. Correct Commerce is our baby. Support the ministry. Thank you so much, everyone. And of course, we also have new to the platform. We have a real estate agent, Evie, Miss Evie. Some people can call Miss AVA. So she has a space that is renting out. And if you are in need, do give her a call out at 647-701-4526. 647-701-4526. Also, there's another room. So she has a couple of them at her leisure. So you can give her a call if you're looking for a space. Maybe you're new to the environment and you need a space to stay, or you're looking to change the space that you have, the environment that you have. Do not hesitate to call Miss Evie at 647-701-4526. And yes, you know your lady. If you don't know, now you know. Of course, I have my own brand, which is called Ade Babes, and we do sell lashes, lip mat, we sell ebooks, so that you can also start your own online business. For those business entrepreneurs out there, you can start your own online business. There's ebooks on thousands of vendors lists. You can download it, either resell it on your own to make your own money, or pretty much reach out to any of the vendors in there, from lashes to hair to shoes to clothes to accessories. Try to start your own brand, you know. And then also, there's also an ebook on drop shipping that is there, how to start your own online business. It's there, ebooks, and a couple of other ones there. You would not be disappointed. So support Adebabes. Go to www.adebabes.com. Thank you so much for support. So, of course, we have our beautiful and lovely guests this evening. And we are going to be talking, or she will be talking, about data analytics, and we will be learning. So let's introduce our beautiful guest, Miss Nnena Uboma. Beautiful name. Welcome to the platform.
Thank you.
How are you? This lovely
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. And
yeah.
I hope I'll be able to, do justice to data analytics. Yeah.
Definitely. But before you start now, let me just give a little intro. Miss Nnena, she is a beautiful, you guys look at her. Look at her very well. This beautiful lady over here is a mother of three. Like, she is looking great. And she works at Scotiabank as a director risk analytics and cyber. She's also an analytics coach, trainer, and mentors individuals. She is soon to be a co-author of Beyond Math, which is an analytical mathematical reasoning workbook for ages 8 to 13. She loves to impact knowledge and motivate people to go above and beyond, and that is the reason why she's here on Chat with Ade. So welcome once again.
Thank
And
you. Thank you very
if I've
much.
left anything else in that intro, don't be shy, throw it in.
No, you did a very good introduction of me, and I'm very honored to be here and very pleased to connect with you.
Thank you. So let's get to know you a little bit before we dive into data analytics. hmm So besides that, the fact that we know you're a mother of three and you work at Scotiabank, that alone, being able to have that specialty at Scotiabank is a lot of work. And for you to be able to get there, we know it was not easy. And of course, being able to take care of children, we know how it is here in Canada. You're making ends meet, you're running from daycare to whatnot. It's a lot of work. So how have you been able to um, motivate yourself in order to be able to get to where you are right now, career wise?
Yeah, this is a question that I get often. That's so like it's just so much people ask me that same question. I can't believe that. I think I'm going to be talking to a group on May 29th, and the topic is total woman. So people always ask me, right? You have three kids, you're currently doing a PhD in finance, you work in Scotiabank, and then you're doing all this mentoring, and upon you're also writing a book, for beyond math, which is really math. To write a book in math is really something. Everybody can write a book in English, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
they write a book on, oh, I want to talk about myself, right? You can just, speak it, and somebody even helps you to write it. But
Yep.
if I tell you how many times you have to reread a math book, resolve the whole questions, just to make sure that the books will come out accurate,
Mm.
you will imagine how much time that takes. And these are two workbooks coming out at the same time. One is basic and one is advanced, and each of them is 128 pages of analytical math. Um, the basic one will be for ages 8 to 10, and then the advanced will be for ages 11 to 13. We are very excited about it, actually. We've gotten a lot of commendable feedback, and people really waiting for the book. So let's see how it goes. So, about myself, how do I cope? What
Mm-hmm.
I always say is that I am very project oriented. So I always try to do my roadmap, and I ask myself, what are the top five things that I want? And then every other thing can be a filler, but those are the things that I pursue. So at each time, there are things that I focus on. So, for example, when I came to Canada newly, it was about finding my space within my career. So, finding my space within my career, I knew that I had some sacrifices to make. One of those sacrifices means that I cannot be home with my kids 24/7 because I had a career I wanted to build. And if I want to grow my career, then I needed help in the other aspects. So one of the things I did was to bring my mom over so that I could keep my children with someone I could trust
Trust.
wholly, and I could afford to go to work during the day, go to school in U of T. That was where I learned. I got my data science certificate, and then come back home and do all my assignments, and I wouldn't have to be bothering about what are the kids going to eat. Have they done their homework? So it was good for me at that stage because she really filled in for that whole motherly duties for me. She made the food, she did everything. So I could invest my 4 years, running into those career. And then now that my kids are kind of, they don't need so much, babysitting. But right now, what we need is connecting, being friends, because that age when soon they will all be going into university. And for me, connecting and making them be my friend, so that when they leave home, they will always remember me. And if they think about anything or who to call, my number will be the first to dial. Then my
Mm.
priority changed. My priority became to become very close to my children. And because they are teenagers, I started looking at what are the things that we could do together
Mm.
so that it can connect us together. Because at teenage age, most of these children are busy with either they are doing their own thing. So
Yeah.
I had to look for something that we could do together. And my children said they like math. Fortunately, my analytics is also, a bit of math. I have a background in engineering. I said, okay, since we all like one thing, let's do a project during COVID. So since we're all at home, let's come up with a math book. So in that way, we are connected, asking ourselves questions,
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure it out, and then keeps us together, and we can really bond. And very truly, I've really, really bonded, especially with my daughter who is 17, who will be going to school. I can, proudly say I'm her best friend, even without blinking an eye. Like there's nothing that really passes her that she will not come to tell me. And that's something that, and that's how I kind of, stay connected. People ask me, okay, what about the PhD? For me, it's a 10 years plan, so I don't kill myself over things. And but then, even though I put it as a 10 years plan, but you'll be so surprised that because I didn't put it in my forefront, it doesn't give me headache. But I'm still moving on, and hopefully next year I'll be graduating, which will be 3 years. But then I didn't feel the stress because I am not running towards a target. So because of that, there is no stress. But you see that even as I take it little by little,
Yeah.
over time, you see that you're making so much progress. But what is important is always asking yourself, what is it that is critical to me at this point over my, over my overall goal? And that is how I take my own thing, right? I just run against my goal.
That is beautiful. That is lovely. So pretty much the book is cool with the kids.
Yes. So we're gonna have three
What?
authors.
Oh my goodness, that is so beautiful. Oh boy, I love that. Oh, motivator, that is beautiful. Congratulations. I love that.
Thank
Oh my
you.
goodness.
They
So,
actually wrote
mhm,
the book. They actually wrote the pages.
yeah.
I reviewed and edited. So
Wow, that's sweet. I love that bonding. That's the type of bonding I like. That's lovely. Congratulations to them. Oh my goodness.
thank you.
Please send our congrats to them. And I want to just pick on something you just mentioned, and it was something we talked about on the program, I think, either two or three um, episodes, and it had to do with the old. Actually, it was, yes, I believe she's here. It was Mrs. Catherine Adewale that was the guest, and we spoke about how it's very, very important, especially in this day and age when we, as females, as mothers, we want to work, we want to like focus on our careers, and you have to work and go to school, study, and whatnot, and sometimes you do have to leave these children with a stranger, with a neighbor. Like you have to leave them in order to be able to pursue this type of goals. And she mentioned something like, okay, that is going to be your priority. Is either you're able to get them someone that you can trust, or you have to leave it maybe till later until they're a bit much older, they can stay by themselves. So now, when you said that you had to now bring your mother, I applaud you for that, because even bringing a parent over is not easy. And then two, to be able to think in that direction of bringing your mother instead of having to maybe source someone you don't know to pay them to look after your kids, because we know what's going on in social media, what is going on in reality right now. You can't, it's very, very hard to trust people to leave your children with. So I applaud you for thinking in a proper way and being able to you know get that done, because we do know some people would love to bring their parents but they're unable to do that also. So I applaud you for doing that and making sure they're well taken care of while you were pursuing your goals. So just wanted to do a little recap from that, from the last episode. Yes. That is beautiful. So, like you mentioned earlier, you said your background is in engineering. Now, from engineering, to me, kudos, because we don't have too many female engineers. So I'm always like, yes, I love to see that. Now, I'm sure even when you were in class or you were in school or even coming over here abroad in Canada, you realize that there's not too many females in that sector. There isn't too many Black females in that sector. What is your take in that?
So, when I came into Canada, think of it, I wasn't, even though I left Nigeria, I didn't leave Nigeria working in engineering. So I always tell people that I can remember when I was in my last year in university, and this oil company, I think it was Schlumberger, came in to hire, and I remember they chose the first three from each department, and we went for that interview, and I was like, no, I don't want to work in rig. That's not where I want to spend my life, right? So I did decline that youth service offer to Schlumberger, which most times people ask me, how could you? Anyway, so I wanted to work. So I took up a role in banking because, for me those days I liked the way they looked very corporate. So it was about, getting up, dressing with, being in flashy cars and going to work and being on suits. So for me, it was something that, I wanted to do. But then taking up job in banking, I realized that banking was, for me, was just marketing. So for them, it was you go into the market and get all those your Igbo brothers to come and bank, right? And so you go all the way. So you always in this market telling them, okay, come and bring money, come and bring money. And and then you come out of Nigeria and find out that marketing throughout in banking, you really do not have any skill except to go out and talk to people and come back. So you don't have banking because I have not for one day done any single funds transfer. I don't even know how to cash money like I can't even count money. So my whole life in banking for years was just, going to get Debo brothers to pay money for the bank owner, right?
Hmm.
So I came into Canada, and so I had a brother who schooled in the US, and he told me something. He said, to survive in here, there are three major professions that you may actually think about as an immigrant. The IT is one of them, and then health sector is another one, and then maybe you can consider accounting. So I had an engineering background, and I came into a place I wasn't sure what
Mhm.
I could get with my skill, and medicine. I was like, I don't want to go into medicine, nursing, all those things. Biology is just not my friend anyway. So I don't think I really want to take book and really start reading anything that had to do with medicine. And then I didn't want to do accounting. So I looked at IT and I was asking myself, what am I going to do in this IT market? Because you see a lot of jobs in IT, but you also see a lot of people apply for that. And then you also see that the IT industry already has a lot of immigrants. So if you think about people from Asia, a lot of them are already, in IT. So
Mhm.
I decided to ask myself, what should I do? So I went into indeed.ca, which is like, a job site, and my brother told me about a skill called SAS then. So I first of all went into the job search engine, and I saw lots of jobs with SAS. And then one thing that was unique about those jobs was that they wanted people who knew IT, but also wanted people who knew business. So it means that you should be able to communicate and you should be able to articulate. So that alone will, take away, eliminate a lot of people in core IT, or people who don't really want to, face executives that will be asking you a lot and lots of questions. So you have to be able to articulate, and be proactive. So that became the core challenge in that particular role. But then I didn't know any of these skills. So I now said, okay, I'm going to try to see what this field was all about. So we're talking about like 2010-ish time, 2011. So I put SAS on my resume and I pushed out my resume because I just wanted to know whether it was worth my effort to do it. In 3 weeks, I got 21 interviews, and I told myself, no, I think this is the market that I need to go in. It means that there's a great opportunity within that market, and the chances that I'm going to rise is there. So it means that the competition is very small as at that time.
Mhm.
So I started learning SAS. So initially, I started learning it on my own. I bought this book called My Little SaaS Book from page 1 to the end. Because it was also programming, sometimes it's very difficult to learn and assimilate it on your own. So I had to look for someone that will also help me, coach me through my own level of understanding, being that I have never ever seen programming before. So that was how I started learning SAS. I started learning SQL and mastered it. And that was how I got a job, because the truth about this coding is that from my experience with the 21 interviews I went for, that I didn't get a single job, even though it was on my resume, is that once you come there, they will give you a paper and a pen. So they give you the questions and tell you to write the program. So it wasn't like, oh, I don't have Canadian education, or I don't have this, or I read English. It doesn't really matter. What matters is, can you code it? So whether you have a PhD from Waterloo, they don't care. What they care is, take this paper, write the code. So I said, okay. So after I learned it, I was able to now go for an interview eventually, and then I got it. So, and that was how I entered into the data sector. But one thing I really loved about it is the creativity that came with it, because when you are at work, you're not only about, writing the code. One of my VPs once told me that if we're just looking for those that will write the code, you can also pick, undergraduates. Some of them will know how to write the code, but we need somebody who can conceptualize it, who is able to proactively look at the questions that business is asking, and and be able to bring these results in front of the business even without them asking. Because in the world of big data that we are today, we know that so many things. Even as I'm talking now, I am a data point. So everything I'm saying is data. But most businesses have lots of data, but what is important with that data is, can they use it for anything? And the only way they can use it for anything is by somebody telling them, oh, look at the gap in your business, or I think you should grow your business in this area, or I think you should invest in this area. If they have all this data and there is nobody to give them this information, the data is as good as useless. So, and that is why that whole, business translation, business analytics started to grow, because most companies started finding out that the companies that were doing well, like Amazon and like Facebook, were really investing a lot of money into data analytics, into people being able to tell them based on their data whether they were whether they had a good share of the market, or whether their business was competitive, or areas that they could that were gray. So think about, you have a business and all your business is in Toronto. If somebody was able to tell you that, there are some other businesses that are doing so well, similar to yours in Calgary, you have the potential to take up that market, but you didn't know. So if somebody was going to tell you that information, you'll be very grateful, because the following day, that will make you launch a branch in Calgary. But if
Yeah,
nobody ever told you, then you may, continue being in Toronto and never remember that you have to go to
I agree.
Calgary. And that was what I found interesting in the role. And that's how I launched into it. And I started growing within that area. And I think, again, because there was a lot of gap at that time, I think that's also what really helped me to rise. Because believe me, I came in 2010 as an analyst, and in 2013, I was a director.
Wow. Wow. That was quick. Oh my. So now, what do you think we need to address, or how should we go about encouraging young Black females to get into data analytics?
So I know that most times when people think about data analytics, they think about math, or they think about, difficulty.
Mm,
And one thing that makes people not to be able to, embrace their goal, or to become who they want to be, is, the perception of difficulty. So most times we shy away from a lot of things, not because we don't have the ability to do them. It's just basically because we think that we are not able to do them. But the one thing I always tell myself, and that's also one thing that I have always, tried to put in front of my kids, is try before you say you failed. Because if you never try, how can you say you failed? Your
mm,
assumptions cannot always be true. Most times we believe in falsehood about ourselves. We take in what we think or what people have told us about ourselves, and that does not mean that it is true.
mm,
So the only times you can say something is true is when you have tried it, given it all reasonable try, and then maybe at that point you can tell yourself, maybe I'll look for something different. So if you look at the current markets, and I always tell a lot of people, is that this, even with the world of COVID that just happened, what it has done to most organizations is that it has given organizations more data points. So in essence, we are having more data than before. Now everybody is doing remote work. People are sending contents through WhatsApp, Facebook. We are calling on phone. So those data points that before you could even be face to face, all of them now are through some medium. So it means that data is now increasing more and more. And in the midst of this big data, there will always be need for somebody to help the organizations, tackle how to solve it. If you talk about cybersecurity, we
mhm,
need data to know how people are breaking in, to see how we can stop them. Talk about risk. We need to understand, we need data to see how risky we are, or areas that are considered risky, so that we know how to mitigate it.
mm,
Marketing. We need data to know who are those buying your stuff, to know who you should entice more with your product. If you cannot track people who like your product, then you may be running a lot of campaigns towards a particular market who don't need your product. What is happening to you is that you're just spending money advertising product that nobody will buy.
mm.
If you talk about, every area, you need data. Even those who are in school, they need data to understand how many of their students that are passing. What should they do to get more people to to pass a particular course? Is it based on the teachers? Is it based on the curriculum? All these things are basically analytics. And then you find out that in this market that is very, very tough, very competitive, most companies can't just live on guesswork. Oh, I think it is this. People don't really want that. People want you to say the facts. If you tell them the facts, then there are no emotions. People will agree. But if you're just basically saying, I feel, I don't feel, then people may not necessarily want to listen to you. So what I advise, most people, especially young ones, is that the world has gone very digital. It is good for you to put within your pocket some of these digital skills. What I see myself in the current market is that it's becoming a base skill. So I'll tell people now is that you know how to program. Oh, I know how to write SAS. Oh, I know how to write SQL. It may not even get you the job anymore. So
Mm.
now people are expecting you to know it in addition to the business. The
Mm.
same way, if you only know business and you don't know these data skills or these digital skills, you will still not get the job.
Mm-hmm.
So it has become a world of, best of two worlds. You are now, and because the market has become also competitive, many people that come for those interviews have these two skills. So how do you benchmark yourself against competitors if you have only one? Knowing that many people that will come there, we have two.
Mm.
So if you put yourself in the position of the hiring manager, would you take somebody who only knows marketing, or will you take somebody who knows marketing and also knows how to use data to properly analyze marketing? So the person comes with great informed decision of how he should, launch the campaign, because the person has data on that. So the world has gone, the corporate place has really gone very complex, that you really need to have more than one skill to be able to compete. I have a friend who is in, I think, AML, and she said she went for an interview and they were asking her advanced Excel. 4 years ago, nobody will. Or you go for an AML interview and they'll be asking you SQL. I've met a lawyer who went for a law course, I mean a law job, and they were being asked about advanced Excel. 4 5 years ago, nobody would expect a lawyer to also be a data person. So what it simply means is that it's becoming more of a base skill, that no matter the profession you go into, people want you to be able to analyze, because this is the only way you can really bring value into your role. And that's why if you look at some jobs, you won't see a job called data. You will see marketing specialist. When you read through it, you will see that that role is simply marketing data specialist.
Mm.
So,
Uh,
and that's the same way when you see a role that says business analyst. When you read through it, you will see that the job description is actually business data analyst.
yes, yes.
So simply, data has been benchmarked and have been made conventional, that is assumed that everybody should know it. So what happens to you in a market like that when you don't know it? Then you are disadvantaged. But
Mm.
also, if you just know it and you go for an interview, somebody else knows data and the person also knows business, then you're also disadvantaged. So I always tell people, stay in the area that you are a subject matter expert, then add data in it to become your competitive advantage.
Wow.
Thank
Oh,
you.
that's great. Thank you so much. We have so many comments here. Uh, Vigiano says remote work offers flexibility, and I appreciate the work-life balance that comes with that. Yes, Ms. Catherine says vision, skill, value. Mr. Onola says interesting. Ms. Catherine saying closing the gaps. Mr. Onaola says information is power. And Mr. Kazim says, Nnena Uboma, may God continue to broaden your knowledge.
Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for your
And
feedback.
so, you guys, if you have any questions, please, this is the time to throw it out there. Let's get some information from her while we have her on the hot seat. Vipray says correct. And moving forward, we know you have an event, a program coming up next week. Can you please elaborate on that?
Yes, so it's a free program that I'm running next week. That's during the weekend. It's on Saturday at 12 noon. And what I do in that program is for people to come in and explore whether data analytics is something that they should do or they should learn. So first of all, learn the importance, see how the market values it, see how you can take your current skill and leverage data analytics to make you more competitive for the market. And then especially I tell people, even if you don't ever have to use data at all in your work, what data analytics does for you is it broadens the way you think. It makes you to learn to become analytical in your thinking. Analytical and creativity and innovation are very tied together because analytical thinking helps a lot in problem solving. So when you start to reason analytically, when you start to become more of a logical reasoner, you will find out that it's not about the numbers or about the data. You find out that when you're discussing with people, you're able to evaluate, to analyze the information you get, and you'll be able to give more, more informed decisions, more good inferences of what you hear. And that is a skill on its own. If you look at the the World Economics Forum top skills of 2025, analytical thinking is the number one. And when they say analytical thinking, they're not referring to numbers. They are referring to the ability to think, ability to analyze information and bring out, inferences, concepts from the data that you look at. So when you equip yourself with a data analytics skill, that's something that you can actually, transfer to other things that you do in terms of how you analyze data, in terms of how you reason through information, and in terms of logical ways of how to, by learning logical ways of how to, move from point A of data to point B, which is, presenting this information by putting a real, balanced argument and being able to present your case. I always laugh and I tell my daughter that when I was young, my father wanted me to be a lawyer. And for some reason, English was not just what I really wasn't really what I had passion for. So along the line, I ran away from it. And you know that for sure I did engineering. But I always tell my daughter that I think that I fulfilled my father's dream, because now all I do is, instead of being a lawyer that I go to court, I take information A and B and I argue my case against A, and then I wait for the judge to preside. Here in my world, I take different points of data and I make my inferences and I argue my case against one particular inference, and then my stakeholders are my judge. Then they make a decision. So that I like to call myself the data solicitor.
Oh boy.
So exactly, I fulfilled my daddy's dream by being a data lawyer, right? So, so you see how it helps the way you analyze things. So think about a lawyer who is in the law court. The person is actually doing data analysis. It's just that the person is doing it without having to go through the big tools. But if this lawyer was to collect a lot of information for this particular case, without technology, without tool, it will become difficult for this lawyer to be able to put together this whole information. And the only thing that technology has done, things like SAS, SQL, Python, SQL, is just to help you, to manage data that you could not ordinarily manage manually. And it's not hard if you learn it in a logical way, and if you have a coach who can teach you just like ABC in a way that you can understand it, not necessarily learning it in the class. So That's what analytics does for you. It gives you concise, precise, way of analyzing your work. And that also allows you to be able to present it better and easier and clearly so that your viewers can really assimilate it. So next week, I'll be having that training, and you can come on and see if data analytics is something you want to explore. How hard do you think it is? And there will also be lots of opportunity for you to ask questions. But I always tell people that I think that data analysis is for everyone. Even my daughter, who are in primary school, are doing data management. Believe me.
Wow. By force, they must do. We have Onaola that says, what's the difference between information technology and database analysis?
So database analysis is actually analyzing the actual data. Information technology is basically about the systems that enable information, either to transfer them, to store them, or to do anything. So if we look at how I'm talking with, I'm chatting with Ade, right? It is technology that is assisting that. Believe me, we're not in the same room. So that is technology, right?
Hmm.
And that is how technology supports the flow of information, supports streaming of information, supports storing, archiving, keeping information. And that is what I call core IT. But after we have gotten all this information, how does business, leverage from all this information that we are using the medium of information technology to store, to get, to collect? Then that's where we have to analyze that particular information. And so by analyzing it to get some meaning out of it, then it means that we are doing data analysis.
Okay, Mr. Onaola, I hope she answered your question. Please, if you need clarification, put it down on the comment section. And we have Catherine that says, very informative, thanks, good job. Analysis helps to break information down to people for people to understand. Yes, for the layman to understand. Yes. And yes, so you understood. It says, thanks so much. And how can people pretty much get across to you if they're interested in the upcoming event?
Okay, so I will drop my email on the how do I do it?
No, just give it to me and then I will post it on the comments. Or
Okay,
someone
so
can actually post it for us. Yes.
okay, so I can give you the label that I use to collect it, so that I don't have to
Yes.
give out my. Um, okay, so I think I've sent it to Ade, so Ade will be able to share it. Yeah.
And then we actually have another question in the meantime. Mr. Latuji says, where is the free information session happening? Is it open to teenagers?
So it's happening on Saturday at 12 p.m. and it's going to be through Zoom. So if you connect with me, I will send you the Zoom link so that you will be able to attend. And I would say yes. Teenagers can always come. I remember when I had a free Python 2 hours session, I did see some high school students. They were there and they were really coding and they were asking questions. And in Canada, in high school, they teach them Python. So I think that learning it when they're young is easier. What it creates is that it creates the flair and the ability as they grow older. And that is why now in high schools in Canada, teenagers have to do Python as part of their tech classes, which becomes, early stage of introducing them because the world is really going digital.
Mm. So I hope that answered your question. And any more questions? So what are the tips or what are encouraging words you would give to those who are skeptical? They're not sure if they should get into it, they should change careers, or they're not even sure what to do right now due to this lockdown and they're just passing time. What can they get into? What would you say would be a word of advice to them?
So I had a co-op student once at work, and there was this advice I gave him, and I believe that it's been working for him. I said that knowledge is like library, right? So most times when we need a research work and we go to the library, when we get to the library and we want to use it, we can only use the books that are there. So you don't necessarily go to buy a book in the library at that point. If you get there and the book is not there, they will tell you, sorry, we don't have it. So I always tell myself that knowledge is like a library. So you collect as you see it available and as it is as you are able. What happens is that you don't know when you will be tapped, and if at the time you're tapped you don't have it, nobody's going to wait for you to go learn it. So everything at the end of the day always make it possible for somebody. And the truth is that during an interview, you don't know why you're being hired. So sometimes you will go for an interview just because every other person there does not have one skill and you have it, becomes the reason why you're hired versus the other person. So I always tell people learn things that are interrelated. So if I'm a business person, I know that I need data analysis. I know that project management is something that I will always come across. Like as it is possible for me, we are all they said are learning leaders. Leaders that continuously learn are good leaders. So the same way with everyone. So you continually learn, but give yourself a target. Maybe this year I will learn project management. Next year I will learn data analytics. Next one, and then they continue to form who you are. So that at the time when you are now ready for leadership or ready for something, you will find out that within your library, you have all it takes to do your comprehensive move. So con- take a habit to learn, grow an attitude to learn about stakeholder management, collaborations. These are some of the things I also teach in my leadership sessions. I do leadership sessions, and within my leadership sessions I teach all these stakeholder management, collaboration, conflict management. At what point do you speak out, at what point don't you? Check your facts before you come out, have your armies before you fight. So these are some of the things I tell people. Sometimes it might be you might want to fight, but it's not the right time to fight. You wait till you get enough armies, right? So these are the things that you have to learn to be able to um work well, because I tell people the skills will get you through the door, but the skills cannot keep you at the work. You need a lot of other skills to be at that work, and some of those things are also things that I do. Like I think next month I'm going to do a chat with Nnena Uboma, where I'm going to do a lot of leadership session and take questions from people. I do that also, like how to navigate yourself through the corporate world and things like that. So basically teaching some things that I have learned and also helping others to learn through that way. So my advice to everyone, just like Ade asked, is you know take take opportunity of opportunities that come along your way.
That's great. So you guys, info@triplejconsulting.ca. Send the email, get your questions asked. The information session is on Saturday next week. Yes, so try to get in there. And it's going to be on Zoom, I believe.
Yes, that's right.
Yes. So don't worry, you're gonna get in. Okay. Vigiano says, what source control tools are you most comfortable with?
So, not sure I understand what you mean by source control, but if you're referring to what are the tools that we use to pull data, I will tell you that the most basic one in the industry is SQL. It's been in the industry for years, and I call it the grandfather. So, no matter the tools that keep coming out, they always kind of make an SQL interface for people. So, SQL and Excel are the two major tools for data analytics. If you have these two, you will be able to navigate yourself around that career while you now learn others as you progress.
Okay, thank you. I hope that answered your question. Mr. Onaola says, God bless you. So yes, so we are rounding off, and we just want to say thank you so much. And by the way, when is the book going to be ready? When should we be expecting the book to come out?
So the book, we're hoping that I'm hoping that July 1st, which is Canada Day, we'll be
Oh,
able to put that flag on and use it to celebrate big on Canada Day. So it's hopefully it will be out and we'll be launching we'll be getting it out on Canada Day. So that will be the way we'll celebrate Canada Day this year.
yay, that would be superb since everywhere is locked down. We can't celebrate anything. So that would be a good one. Oh my goodness. Congrats yet again. We just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you so much for downloading all your wisdom, downloading your intellects, Of course, we can continue to go on, but they will come back on Saturday next week and attend that free session. Thank you once again. You guys don't forget, send an email to info at triple jconsulting.ca. Okay, and get more information. Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening. We're definitely still going to be doing a lot of collabo together in the future. And stay safe. God bless. Say hello to the kids for me.
Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless everyone. Yeah, and hope to see you all soon.
Yes, definitely, definitely. Thank you. Catherine says thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. Thank you for everyone that showed up, showed out, asked a question, wrote a comment. God bless you guys. Those who shared, oh, thank you for sharing. God bless you all. Thank you, Olatude, thank you. Don't forget to follow my social media handles if you're not already. @day_babes, @day_babes, your girl. Follow me on social, on Instagram. And if you're not subscribed to my YouTube, Adiba Connected TV, I don't know why. What's holding you back? Like, tell me what's holding you back. Click subscribe and then click that little bell that will let you know as soon as we post any content. You'll be the VIP members to get that as soon as we post. Don't forget, click subscribe is the red rectangle button under the video, and then also the little bell. Click it so that you'll be the first to receive alerts when we do post content. Thank you so much. Follow us on Adiba Connected TV also on Instagram so that you can laugh and see some great content news that is going on around the world, including here in Ontario. And thank you guys once again. Don't forget, click the share button. Stay safe. God bless, and have a good night.